Hey, you all, welcome to Screen University Talks. And today with me, I have some kind of an expert. He's been a friend, a Twitter friend for more than 10 years now, almost 10 years. And when I used to be in Hyderabad, we often decided that we will meet someday. And then we finally met at a couple of places. Uh, I had written one film for RP Patnaik, and during that premiere show, I think I met Hemant for the first time. But I have been following Hemant and his work for a long time now, and he is actually some kind of an expert on cinema. He has become one now, and let's try to talk to him and find out more about what it is like to write uh, about films, not for films. Write for films is a different ball game, but writing about films is more difficult because there is always your reputation and credibility at stake, and in that's a profession that is actually marred by a lot of corruption and insinuations, especially recently the famous chef Vikas Khanna. He accused someone of asking for a bribe for a good rating. And here is a man with me who writes movie reviews for a living. So let's talk to him and and find out more about him. All right. So yeah. So Hemant, hi Hemant, welcome to Screen University Talks. And
Thanks, Deepak. Thanks for having me.
yeah, most welcome. And so the first thing I wanted to ask you is about your. First, tell me about your background. I know that you went to BITS Pilani, right?
Yeah.
So how did you end up here?
Right. Um, so I'm a Telugu guy, but dad used to work in a bank. So every 3 years we would get transferred from one place to another, right?
Okay.
So we came to Hyderabad in 1997, and but for 4 years prior to that, we spent quite some time in Tamil Nadu. I was there for a year near Madurai, and then another 3 years in a town near Agra.
Okay.
So as a result, I got to see lot more things, about our country, people, and slowly I got more used to Hindi. So when I came back to Hyderabad for my seventh standard, they said you can't pick up Telugu so easily now. And back then, seventh used to be our board exams also, right? So I
Yeah.
freaked out. So we stuck to studying Hindi as well. That became my first language for some reason. That was the primary reason why I didn't take up Telugu, right? Anyway, we will come back to this little later. But yeah, anyway, 11th and 12th I did pretty well in Hyderabad, and that landed me in bits. I'm sure I've spoken about this quite a few times, but I think till the end of 12th standard, the only agenda was to get into a good college, right?
Okay.
And back then, I was doing well in board exams, and whatever you want to call that, బోర్డ్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ క్రాక్ చేస్తే బిట్స్కి వెళ్ళొచ్చు అనేది ఒక మంచి పాత్ ఉండేది అనమాట అప్పుడు. This was when I was in Vignan Vidyalayam in Hyderabad, Nizampet. I was not that good at MSET mock exams, and IIT was never an option for me, so like I didn't even
You are not much of a test taker.
I don't know what it is, but it was the path was very clear for us right from the beginning, that was if I studied hard enough, maybe bits was an option for me. So after going to bits, I realized that I don't know if I want to become an engineer. Going to
Okay.
bits was always on my mind, and I wanted to get into it somehow, and I got into it. But after going to bits, I started asking myself, do I really want to be an engineer? Like I got mechanical engineering in bits, and quite early into my academics, I realized that, see, I mean, there are different ways of looking at it. A was very competitive, and very hard if you don't know your basics right now. I'm sure there are a lot of people like me in colleges where that there's something missing. You're not able to understand what is the bigger picture, or you don't know what it is that you're trying to learn. Nothing seems to make sense. There are some courses, of course, in college which will appeal to you because these are told to you in a language that you understand, and and you can see what are the real world applications. And I mean that those courses are fine, but uh, for me, I think that's what switched the lamp for me. I realized that maybe engineering was not my cup of tea at all. But quitting college was not an option for me. I don't think I ever thought about it. Right, BITS being such a big college, and I really wanted to experience that college life in one of the best engineering colleges. It was back in 2003. One of the good things about BITS is there's way too much freedom. Right, like you can do pretty much whatever you want to. If you don't want to study, they'll tell you upfront that if you're not going to do good at academics, we hope that you'll find something that you're really good at, whatever that might be. So people get into entrepreneurship, and um, if, even in within engineering, they have these specialized clubs, robotics and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
um, Everybody finds their niche, right? And I really didn't know what my niche was for
Okay.
about 4 years. I was part of English press club though in BITS, and I don't think I learned how to write, even though I was part of the press club there. I would not really interact much with people. But what had happened was in my third year, one of my friends, who's now one of the co-founders of Swiggy, his name is Sriharsha. He
Mhm.
used to be my he was my wingy in my first year, and he had a huge stash of foreign cinema and all these award-winning classics and all that. I got access to that, so I started watching movies. అంటే మన తెలుగు వాళ్ళకి సినిమాలు అంటే పిచ్చి, కానీ మనకి నాకు ఆ సినిమాలు చూసి కొన్ని అర్థమయ్యేటి కాదనమాట. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఏం చెప్పాలనుకుంటున్నాడు డైరెక్టర్. ఇట్ మేడ్ మీ వాంట్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ సినిమా రాదర్ దెన్ జస్ట్
Mm.
వాచింగ్ ఇట్.
That is the key. Yeah.
And then in fourth year, I took up a course in college called Critical Analysis of Literature and Cinema. So on campus, we call it CALCI. So that was my course. And there, one of the films that we watched during the course was um, it was an Andrei Tarkovsky's film. Um, Forgot the name of the film, man. But I dozed off twice. Like I just didn't understand what was he trying to tell through that film. And it took me a long time, like a lot of reading, a lot of like talking to people about what is it that the director wants to say. And so that's when people, like some of the people who were more interested in cinema than me back then, they would tell me like you have to pick up these visual cues, and this is what he's trying to convey through this scene. All the thing sort of, I think, opened up something in me, which made me want to understand cinema from a deeper perspective. So after college, I knew that I love cinema. I love watching it, and I have to recommend whatever I was watching to my friends. I mean, if I watch a foreign film, I'm gonna tell people like, "Hey, I watched this. This is what I liked, or this is what I didn't like." That's how blogging started for me. I used to write about films which I was watching, and I worked with Satyam for a year and a half, but I was on bench for pretty much a year. I think that's when the blogging picked up really, in a big way, and I was writing a lot. Eventually, I quit Satyam, and I thought, okay, let me take this plunge into writing. So that's how film reviewing started on a professional level. Obviously, I mean, there's a lot of trial and error, right? Like, I never went to a journalism school or a film school. I didn't know how to write a review in a, I don't know how to put it, like the way a critic is supposed to write. Like, I didn't know how to do that. It took a lot of reading, a lot of practice, a lot of understanding about what is your rhythm when you write, and how do you want to put your point across. I think it's it's been about 11 years since I've started writing professionally, but I would say that it's only in the past 3 4 years that I think I've found what am I good at. Like I can fine tune my writing more. I don't. I still struggle to find the right words, but then I think I can manage now. I don't hesitate as much when I write. So a flow వచ్చేసింది అనమాట. I think
Yeah.
as
It's like the 10,000 hour rule. You know
Yeah,
the
yeah,
10,000 hour
exactly.
rule,
Right,
right? If you do
right,
something you like for 10,000 hours, then
right.
you eventually get good at it because there is
Uh,
no other way to go. You
yeah.
only go upwards from there.
As a writer, I'm sure you understand this, right? Like, what do you mean by finding that rhythm, and
Correct.
so yeah.
Same. So now the big question is, how did your as film writing as a career, how did you convince your people at home? Because
There is no, there is no
I'm sure they are
convincing,
still
right?
unconvinced.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They still keep asking me when are you gonna quit this and do something else.
Yeah.
I don't know what is this something else. Okay, it's like I know that I'm not that great at understanding numbers. Okay, so an MBA in finance or economics, I'm not sure if I'm the right fit for that space. Um, I still love reading about all these aspects, but is this something which comes naturally to me? I don't know, right? So I think I never took that plunge because of that. First 5 years were really hard. I mean, uh, more than the work you do, I think it's the money that you make, right? Like in Hyderabad or across the country, unless you reach a certain position in the media, you don't actually make big money, right? I'm not even comparing this with what IT professionals or consultants or anybody who's in a well placed career make after, let's say, about 6 7 years into the job. You know that there is a certain trajectory for them. They'll have their perks and whatever it is, but media works very differently. And even the editor, topmost editor in your company, they might be making a lakh and a half, or like, let's say max 2 lakhs, officially, right? Now as a junior level employee, you know that you can't expect more than a certain amount, and you have to make do with that, be okay with that. At least you grow in your career. For me, that was the toughest part to deal with at home, right? Like, they'd be like, so a lot of my friends work as consultants in consultancy firms. They've done their MBAs. Some of them used to work with oil drilling companies. I mean, the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, right? Like 100K, 150K.
Yeah, no,
I'm
no.
sure some of them have even hit 200K some 4 or 5 years ago, right? So I was always asked at home, don't you feel anything when you hear these numbers from your friend? I'm like, no. I mean, I'm really happy for them that they're doing so well in their life, but I can't do what they're doing and they can't do what I'm doing. So there's always that friction which will happen. Uh, there are good days also, right? Like sometimes some of your interviews go little viral, or one of your family friends will read that and they'll get back to your parents saying that, oh, he's done a good job. So that's a good day. But at the end of the month when you get your salary, so that's like, dude, what the hell are you doing, man, even after so long?
Okay.
I don't know what is the end game for this. mm, One of us has to give up at some point, so I think it's a waiting game, and both of us are
No.
trying to figure out who's going to give up first, I guess.
All right. So that's a very interesting turn of events for Hemant to come from Bits Pilani into film writing. So what do you think motivates you? What is your motivation to stay? Because I know writing is very boring. It is a very,
Yeah,
and if you are a lazy person, it is the worst thing you can think of. Okay, I would rather sit here and talk to hundreds of people, but than write.
right, right.
It's a very, 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 it takes human. See, you should always ask a writer about the number of unfinished drafts he has,
True.
because that will outnumber anything. I have 25 novel ideas in my phone notes, but I've never started any of those because that's not enough motivation. And because at least in, see, I don't know about non-fiction, but at least in fiction, I feel that uh, you will get the what do you call, it's called the motivation threshold. You will reach
Mm,
that once a certain time comes and you think that okay, this is the right time. How does it work in non-fiction?
right. So for me, let me divide my career over the years into two segments, right?
Okay.
Initially, when I started out in 2009, Magadira had released a couple of months ago, and I started writing formally for 123telugu.com. This was in October or September of 2009. Um, First 4 years of my uh, career was pure survival, right? Like I was jumping from one company to another, 6 months here, a year there. You're still learning on the go. People are teaching you how to write better, you know. ఎందుకంటే there's a huge difference between writing for a website, writing for a newspaper, writing for a magazine. The style is different, the deadlines are different. So, and the kind of questions that you're supposed to ask people to get that right copy are different. ఇది అర్థం అవడానికే మనకి చాలా టైం పట్టేస్తుంది అనమాట, రైట్? అండ్ ఈచ్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్మెంట్ ఆర్ ఈచ్ ఫర్మ్ హ్యావ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ their reporters, right? Now, let's say a newspaper like Times of India or Deccan Chronicle, I'm just taking a couple of local examples. They'll want something very exclusive, right? అంటే మార్కెట్లో ఎవరికి తెలియదు, మన దగ్గర ఫస్ట్ ప్రింట్ అవ్వాలంటారు. Some other newspaper would be like, we don't care about breaking news, but we want in-depth pieces, well thought out of, questions bound ali, so the copy also seems nice and all that. For some other websites, it's a volume game that they're playing, right? Wherever you can source the news from, it doesn't matter, we have to have that news on our site, so I've been like, I think I've undergone this sort of intense training at each place that I've worked with, because newspapers are really cutthroat in that sense. Like, you have to be on your toes because there's a deadline and the paper has to be sent for publishing and all. So first segment of my career was pure survival. Like, I had to deliver for that day or that moment, and I didn't know if what I was doing was good enough to call myself a writer. I believe there is a difference between being a good writer and being a good journalist, right? Like, a journalist need not be a great writer. uh, uh, okay, within the
Yeah, you are right.
journalism,
You are right.
yeah,
You are right. You can expand on that because one of the better and well-known journalists who has broken some of the biggest scams has pretty piss poor grammar. Okay,
yeah.
so you are right.
So
You are right about that.
uh, a journalist, so within journalism, let me break it down further. Okay, so somebody who's really good at reporting, reporting in the sense, they can go out there in the field, they can call up the sources, they'll get their news through somehow, they'll get that work done. And then there are very good writers, right? Like, these people don't necessarily have to be so proactive when it comes to reporting, like on-field reporting and all that. Predominantly, a lot of newsrooms work so well, or whatever you read, mainly due to the sub editor who edits your copies and puts things out there. They are the ones who are trying to help you find your voice. Um, and these people understand the limitations of both these writers and reporters, right? They'll help you understand your craft better. Um, so what were we talking about? What was the question? I think I lost it there. Right? Yeah. I was talking about finding that purpose, right? Like, so I think I realized that I was not really a good journalist. I mean, not good reporter. Right? I can't break news. I That was my biggest takeaway when I was working with Times of India. Right? I love doing interviews because I think I'm a good listener. It comes naturally to me, I guess. ఎవరి మీద ఎవరి ముందన్న ఒక గంట సేపు కూర్చొని మాట్లాడమంటే నేను మాట్లాడేస్తాను. Like, I don't have a problem with it. Like, I can manage to hold this conversation. But if you ask me to get a quote immediately, like, you have to ring up this top star and get this thing, and అంటే అక్కడ కొంచెం మనకి తడబడతాం. So meeting those deadlines was like, it's hard, I mean, it takes a lot of work in that sense. I mean, obviously, over a period of time, people are very kind to you because they know you, they've seen the kind of work you do, so you'll still get your job done, but you will know after a point what comes naturally to you, right? The second part of my career over the last decade, I think it has it's closely linked with how Telugu cinema has changed in the last 10 years, right? I'm not saying that we make drastically different films now, but within the industry or even outside, you know that there's something happening. There is we have crossed that cusp of change, whatever you call it. Be it
Yeah,
in terms of the kind of stories
yeah,
that we tell, the vision that filmmakers have now, and everybody is like thinking big, pan India. Um, there's a lot of activity happening in the industry in that sense, right? So I realized over a period of time, especially post 2014, 2015, that my purpose in writing or in journalism is to capture the moment that we are in right now, right? So I see myself as somebody who's documenting whatever is happening in as many ways as I can, which is also why I'm so comfortable writing long pieces, like 1500 words, 2000 words. I don't care what people say, but I think that's my first instinct. Like, I want to write more. I want to talk to people more about whatever they're doing, and capture that moment or that month or era in that, whatever that they're doing, so that it acts as a reference point for anybody who wants to look back at whatever that particular person or that film, what did it mean to people, or what did it mean to that talent that worked in that. I think I'm still in this phase now where I'm trying to document things, write more, and try to find better words to describe this moment. So this is my sense of purpose. Like, this is what motivates me. Like, I want to write more. I want to capture this moment. um, I won't say I'm a historian in that sense. Like, I don't really think that I have such a thorough understanding of cinema or where we have come from and all that. But last decade, I think I've understood what was happening in the industry. And you ask me between 2010 to 2020, sorry, 2020, I think I know what we have done, and I can explain in a better way, I guess. Yeah.
okay. So now the next and most, it is a critical question.
Okay.
Writing a film review is very good. It's one person's thought process, what he or she understood, and how they perceive the film. All that I understand. But one of the important factors of reviewing a film is managing your own personal bias and making sure it does not reflect in the piece. So, how do you do that?
Let's have a conversation here. Okay. I want to understand what is this personal bias you're talking about.
Now, bias,
Like,
you see, if now it's pretty simple. Now there is a X news channel that does not like Y political party. So X
okay.
news channel will always try to malign the Y political party. The same happens if you are a film reviewer and you are a fan of a certain hero.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now
Cool. Cool. I got
we
it.
have to
Yeah.
take one step back here, and
Right.
and I have to ask you another question.
Mhm.
If you become a film reviewer, is it necessary that you have to shed yourself from all affiliations, or you do you have to be not a fan of anyone from here onwards? I am going to be neutral, or is there a personal bias factor in all the pieces that you write?
That's really difficult, right? Like, I mean, think about it. Like, I'm sure, like, anybody who has grown up watching Telugu cinema, uh,
We'll have a
let's say
favorite.
yeah, even from the 50s, right? Like, we have all grown up watching films of NTR Garu, NR Garu. We love SUR Garu. And then the era of Chiranjeevi Garu, Krishna Garu, Venkatesh, Nagarjuna, Balakrishna. We have all had our favorites, childhood favorites, or even, in our adult life, we have liked certain actors and works of certain directors and actresses and all that. And I don't understand what is this whole idea of non-bias. Like, everybody is biased in some way or the other, right?
That's
it's it's it's
exactly.
your understanding of whatever is happening on screen that really propels you to write what you write, right? Ippudu, for instance, I'll tell you that, okay, when I started reviewing films in the beginning, I never got a hang of commercial cinema, right? Ippudu, let's say, okay, ex director, they have a certain way of making film, like action drama, ఆ ఎమోషన్ ఏంటి, ఆ పీక్స్ ఏంటి, మనకి చాలా సార్లు ఏంటి ఏంటి గోల, ఈ టైంలో కూడా, ఈ కాలంలో కూడా ఇలాంటి సినిమాలు చేస్తున్నామా, look at Malayalam cinema, look at Marathi cinema, whatever they're doing, and why is it that we're not able to catch up to that level? I've gone through this whole thing, right? Like I didn't understand what kind of cinema that we were trying to make and why is it still relevant. But over a course of time, I understood that there is a reason why certain things happen or certain things why they're done in a certain way, right? ఇప్పుడు you can't expect a filmmaker who's making that sort of commercial cinema to make something which is like polar opposite, which is according to your taste, you know.
నేను
So
అదే చెప్తున్నా
huh,
ఒక 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 హీరోకి ఫ్యాన్ అవ్వడం లేకపోతే ఒక డైరెక్టర్ కి ఫ్యాన్ అవ్వడం వల్ల మన రివ్యూలో ఏదైనా బయాస్ ఉంటుందా, ఉంటే దాన్ని ఎట్లా కంట్రోల్ చేస్తాం? హౌ డు యూ డూ ఇట్? బికాస్ దేర్ ఈస్ బౌండ్ టు బి బయాస్. Forget, switch back to 2008. You were not a film writer then. You would
huh,
have had one film director favorite, one actor
yeah,
favorite.
yeah, sure.
Now fast forward to 2021. If that director makes a film, will you have a soft corner for that film or not?
See, okay, let me be more diplomatic and say that over a course of time, you become more confident of what you're doing, right? Ipudu, as a journalist, I think initially everybody will have that fear. ఇప్పుడు వీళ్ళకి ప్రోగా రాస్తే మిగతా వాళ్ళు ఏమనుకుంటారు, or you know,
Yeah.
ఫర్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ ఇప్పుడు ప్రభాస్ మూవీ వచ్చింది, నాకు అది నచ్చలేదు అనుకోండి, ఇప్పుడు ప్రభాస్ ఫ్యాన్స్ ఎలా ఫీల్ అవుతారు అనేది నాకు భయం ఉంటే, then you still need a lot of time to get used to the fact that no matter what, you have to say what you really feel like, right? అది అయితే రైటింగ్ లో కనిపించేస్తుంది. లైక్ యూ కాంట్ hide it, you know. Sometimes no matter how much you like a certain director or actor, if they've done a shitty film, you will say it's a shitty film, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah, ఆ పాయింట్ వచ్చేంత వరకు ఐ థింక్ ఇట్స్ అ స్ట్రగల్ ఇంటర్నలీ ఫర్ యూ, యూనో, యూర్ ట్రైంగ్ టు కాన్స్టెంట్లీ ఎవాల్యుయేటింగ్ యువర్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఆఫ్ సినిమా, యూనో. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ దెర్ మైట్ బి వన్ ఫిల్మ్, నేను ఆ మూమెంట్ లో మేబీ ఐ వుడ్ హావ్ ఫెల్ట్, ఓ బాగా చేశారు కదా అని, బట్ పబ్లిక్ టాక్ చాలా డిఫరెంట్ ఉంటుంది అనమాట దాని గురించి. Now you're wondering, okay, did I go wrong, or is this was I expecting something else from the cinema, or were people and me are not on the same page? Confusion అయితే ప్రతి సినిమాకు ఉంటుంది అనమాట.
నేను నీకు ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్తా. దేర్ ఇస్ దిస్ ఫిల్మ్ కాల్డ్ ఎమ్మెల్యే, సారీ ఎంసీఏ, నాట్ ఎమ్మెల్యే. మిడిల్ క్లాస్ అబ్బాయి. ఆ మిడిల్ క్లాస్ అబ్బాయి సినిమా, I don't know how that film ran for so many days and how it collected that kind of money, because I didn't find anything interesting in it, and I felt it was a drag and it was too long, and the villain, even though he's a brilliant actor, somehow didn't fit into that role. Okay, he was just not somehow that film was out of sync.
Okay.
And that film went on to collect huge amounts of money, especially
Right.
from B and C centers.
Right.
Now a friend of mine who is inside the inner circle, who works in the film PR industry, he told me that no matter what people say, no matter what reviewers say, no matter how many stars these websites give, when we watched the preview, we knew that this film will make money.
Okay.
Because of only one factor, that sentiment. Sister, right? She's his sister.
Yeah, Bhumika, yeah.
Or sister or Vadina.
Vadina.
Because of the Vadina sentiment, this will work ani aa roje వాళ్ళకి తెలుసంట అది.
Okay, right.
You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah, right.
So itla konni factors untai that because unbeknownst to us, there are some films that have end up working. Okay, right. They'll just work, that's all.
Right.
Now keeping this kind of all this framework in mind, do you think film reviewers have a say, or rather do they contribute to the success or failure of a film?
It's a very tricky debate, right? Like as a film reviewer over the years, I've seen films which I've hated from the bottom of my heart. They've become big blockbusters, right?
You ask me about them.
మనకి యా డౌట్ వచ్చి చాలా మంది అడుగుతాను అండి, అంటే దీంట్లో ఏదైనా నచ్చిందా జనాలకి, వై డిడ్ ఇట్, లైక్ అ ఫిల్మ్ కెన్ వర్క్ ఫర్ మల్టిపుల్ రీజన్స్. ఐ మీన్ ఇట్ డజంట్ రియలీ హ్యావ్ టు బి వన్ స్ట్రాంగ్ ఎమోషన్ విచ్ రియలీ వర్క్స్. And then on the other side, there have been films where which I really loved have not worked also, right? ఇప్పుడు విల్ మై రివ్యూ కాంట్రిబ్యూట్ టు దట్ డిబేట్? అంటే ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒక సినిమాకి మంచి రేటింగ్ వేస్తే ఆ సినిమా బాగా ఆడుతుందా? There is a discussion about this. I'm not denying that. Like, I'm sure everybody who's following Telugu cinema, especially in US, they know of certain sites which they completely rely on before they buy tickets or not, right? Um, so that fear is still there even within the industry, right? ఇప్పుడు కొంతమందికి రేటింగ్స్ బాగా పడ్డాయి అంటే obviously it will reflect on their box office collection also. Um, not so much in Andhra or Telangana, but definitely in overseas markets, because the ticket prices are high and you need that extra motivation that come watch our films and all that. Um, but then personally, I don't think I've ever reached or been in a zone where I can dictate a film's fate. You know, never happened.
That would give you too much power, right?
And it's very dangerous also, right? Like, you so much pressure on you to get it bang on each time. And okay, people might like your judgment because they're saying that okay, he's being very honest. Adanta okay, కానీ వీడు బాగా రివ్యూ రాస్తే సినిమా హిట్, వీడు ఫ్లాప్ అంటే సినిమా ఫ్లాప్ అంటే అది ఇట్స్ అ వెరీ స్కేరీ ప్లేస్ టు బి ఇన్, ఆనెస్ట్లీ.
చిన్నప్పుడు హైదరాబాద్ లో వి యూస్ టు గెట్ డెక్కన్ క్రానికల్ ఎట్ హోమ్. దాంట్లో ఫ్రైడే మూవీ రిలీజ్ అయితే దేర్ ఇస్ నో కాన్సెప్ట్ ఆఫ్ ప్రీమియర్స్. ఓకే, ప్రీమియర్స్ ఐ థింక్ ఇప్పుడు కూడా లేదు హైదరాబాద్ లో. సో ఫ్రైడే మూవీ వుడ్ రిలీజ్ అండ్ సండే డెక్కన్ క్రానికల్ సప్లిమెంట్ లో ఆ మూవీ రివ్యూ వచ్చేది. అండ్ వెరీ ఆఫెన్ పీపుల్ యూస్ టు గెట్ ద రివ్యూ రాంగ్ బికాస్ ఐ రిమెంబర్ ప్యార్ తో హోనా హీ థా అని ఒక సినిమా ఉంది సల్మాన్ ఖాన్. సో వెన్ దట్ ఫిల్మ్ రిలీజ్, Sunday's headline was on that supplement, flop to hona hi tha. But that movie went on to run for like 50 weeks or 45 weeks or something in Santosh Sapna, I think. Are nadstane unda cinema. Right. And there is this film called Murder Dells Kada, Mallika Sherawat Murder. 2 years narshindu, almost 2 years. Right. That film got like nothing. It got like 2 stars or something. So in the end, it is the audience who decides. Can we conclude that in the end it is the audience who decides, but the reviewer also to an extent influences at least the openings of the film?
Openings of the film aithe it's the star power. Like, the review will not change anything because ipudu Hyderabad lo 8:45 show is morning one. So if you're watching that, by the time your review gets published, ఎంత ఫాస్ట్ గా రాసినా 12:30 1 కే రివ్యూ
ఆల్రెడీ వాచ్డ్. ఓకే,
మార్నింగ్ షో అన్న వెళ్ళిపోతారు అన్నమాట. So that's purely star power, right? So it depends on that weekend collection, you know. Cinema బాగుంది, టాక్ బాగుంది, రివ్యూస్ కూడా బాగుందంటే ఇట్స్ ఆల్ ఎ ప్లస్. లైక్ ఎవ్రీబడి గ్రీన్ జోన్ లో ఉన్నట్టు అన్నమాట. రివ్యూలు బాగాలేదు కానీ జనాలు టాక్ వెళ్తున్నా, రివ్యూకి సంబంధం లేకుండా కలెక్షన్స్ బాగున్నాయంటే it's purely public talk and crowd pulling capacity of that film or star.
When I say opening, I am talking about the first weekend, because in Hollywood they say opening weekend, right?
Okay.
Then right. Thursday night premieres, then Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. Ee 3.5 days lo etla perform chestado will determine the fate of the film. And review will definitely kill the film if the review is bad. Mahesh Babu Spider, first I think the premiere went for 1 million or something like that.
Right.
I'm very bad with numbers and collections, but the next day drop was terrible. It was a terrible drop because it was a terrible film. There's no denying. So I'm saying that there is a factor. Okay, it could be word of mouth, but somehow when all the websites come together and attack the film, it is gone. It can die.
Inkot endante, a lot of times there is some sort of a momentum building, right? Like it happens most of a very big films, right? Ipudu for instance Bahubali తీసుకుందాం. Part 1, when Bahubali released, because of the way that it was promoted and the hype surrounding it, the budget and the star cast, there'll be so many factors. So the momentum kept on building for months or weeks, you know. So cinema release అయ్యే టైంకి నువ్వు ఏం రాసినా జనాలు వెళ్ళి చూస్తారు అక్కడ, you know. And a lot of times people have got their reviews wrong also, right? Like, people say that it didn't match expectations under them, but then it doesn't matter for a lot of people because they've got their bang for the buck moments throughout the film and they loved it. And people will still come back to you and ask you, ఏం నచ్చలేదురా ఈ సినిమాలో ఇంత తక్కువ రేటింగ్ వేయడానికి, um, this happens mostly for big films, right? So there are times where films are critic proof, if I can say that. మరీ దరిద్రంగా ఉంటే ఏం చేయలేము అనుకోండి, బట్ sometimes there are a lot of these external factors which will completely um, negate whatever you have to say about the film. That will also happen.
Yeah.
There's endless possibilities, I guess. Yeah.
జైలవ కుసా సినిమా ఉంది కదా జూనియర్ ఎన్టీఆర్ది.
Yeah.
I loved that film. I don't know why people hated it. Even NTR fans said that this is not good and all. I thoroughly enjoyed because I see the idea is to get entertained and I got what I wanted.
Sure.
Okay, moving on. Now that we've talked about reviews and ratings and things like that, do you focus only on Telugu films or you plan to write more about films outside your, now there are web series and international films that are getting very very famous among Indians.
Right.
అండ్ మనోళ్ళు ఇష్టం వచ్చింది అంటే విచ్చలవిడిగా చూసేస్తున్నారు, ఎస్పెషలీ లాస్ట్ 1 year లో బికాస్ ఆఫ్ లాక్డౌన్. ఏ పనేం లేదు, చూడండి అందరు. So what is your are you going to expand your scope? Because I haven't seen you write much about foreign films except in a tweet on here and there.
I'll tell you what, honestly, okay? So మనం ఒక మూవీ చూసి దాని గురించి రివ్యూ రాయాలంటే మూవీ ఒక 2 hours 2.5 hours వేసుకోండి. For me, writing a review takes about 3 hours.
Okay.
If I have a deadline, like I have to send it. And ఇప్పుడు ఫ్రైడే రోజు సినిమాలు చూస్తాం, ఒక్కోసారి 2-3 సినిమాలు ఉంటాయన్నమాట. అండ్ ఇట్ డ్రెయిన్స్ యూ అవుట్ మాన్. లైక్ ఒక రోజులో ఒక సినిమా చూసి ఒక రివ్యూ రాసి మాక్సిమం ఇంకో సినిమా చూడొచ్చేమో. దిస్ ఇస్ ఆఫ్టర్ యూ ఫినిష్ రైటింగ్ ద రివ్యూ. దాని తర్వాత అస్సలు ఓపుకుండదు అనమాట. బికాస్ యూ ట్రైంగ్ టు ప్రాసెస్ సో మచ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అండ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు గెట్ ఇట్ రైట్. ఎందుకంటే ఒక్కసారి మన రివ్యూ పబ్లిష్ అయిందంటే మళ్ళీ మనసు మారిపోయింది, దీంట్లో ఏదో చేంజ్ చేద్దామంటే యూ విల్ బి కాల్డ్ అవుట్, రైట్? వీడేదో చేశాడు, చేంజెస్ చేశాడు దీంట్లో, అప్పటికే స్క్రీన్ షాట్స్ అన్ని పడుతుంది. సో there's so much pressure on you to get it right. So I do watch films from other languages at times, and I've not really gotten into that space predominantly because there's a lot to keep up with, right? అసలు ఎంతని చూస్తాం, ఏమని రాయాలి, and it'll always clash with something else that you're doing. So off late I've been reading a lot. Books అసలు 250 pages.
చూస్తున్నా, your reading list is pretty impressive.
2 రోజుల్లో 3 రోజుల్లో బుక్ అయిపోగొట్టే, ఐ మీన్ అంత పేస్ లో చదివేస్తున్నాం అనమాట. అండ్ దాట్స్ రియలీ హెల్పింగ్ మీ ఫైండ్ మై రైటింగ్ బ్యాక్, రైట్? ఈ లాక్డౌన్ లో అస్సలు రాయడం కుదరలేదన్నమాట. నేనైతే ఒక 3 months నెట్ఫ్లిక్స్, అమెజాన్ ఏం ఓపెన్ చేయకుండా ఓన్లీ బుక్స్ చదువుదాం అని ఫిక్స్ అయ్యేలా కూర్చున్నా అనమాట. రియలీ లైక్ ఎక్సెప్ట్ ఫర్ ద ఫిల్మ్స్ దట్ ఐ హావ్ టు యాక్చువల్లీ రివ్యూ, నేను ఇంకేం కొత్తగా ఏం చూడలేదన్నమాట. అట్లీస్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ సెప్టెంబర్ ఆన్వర్డ్స్. I think the only exception I made was for Scam 1992. అదొక్కటే చూసాను సిరీస్.
Okay, that's fantastic series.
I think I wanted to keep my mind free for more ideas, right? Like, and for me, I want to focus more on books because reading list చాలా పెరిగిపోయింది, and I follow so many wonderful authors and writers, especially in US and many other parts of the world, and I really wanted to learn from their work. So అందుకే సినిమాలన్నీ పక్కన పెట్టి సిరీస్లు లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ I started watching Korean dramas. I'm not so big into it, although I really loved what I watched. Crash Landing Into You, I think, was beautiful. It really helped me cope up with a lot of stuff. There was another Canadian Korean show called Kim's Convenience. I loved that show. Yeah, kick-ass it was. And then somebody introduced a friend of mine from US, Radhika Ani. She introduced me to Turkish rom-coms. Okay, now
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard they're picking up like Korean now.
yeah, so Korean dramas, on an average 1 hour to 1.5 hour unte. Turkish dramas, each episode is 2.5 hours, and one season of a TV show will have, let's say, 25 or even more episodes, right? Or some even have more than 40. So it's 40 into 2.5 hours. So you're actually watching like 40 films type by the time you finish that
Abba, abba,
series.
abba, abba.
సో నెట్ఫ్లిక్స్ లో కొన్ని ఉన్నాయి, మధ్యలో యూట్యూబ్ లో ఒకటి వచ్చిందన్నమాట, హర్ యార్ది సేన్ అని, అంటే ఎవ్రీవేర్ యూ గో వెర్ ఎవర్ ఐ గో ఏదో ఉందన్నమాట. ఇట్స్ సో క్యూట్ మాన్, లైక్ ఇట్స్ మన రామ్ కమ్స్ ఎలా ఉంటాయో, అబ్బాయి అబ్బాయి అమ్మాయి అబ్బాయి కలిసి అండ్ వాళ్ళ ఫ్రెండ్స్ సరదాగా.
టర్కీలో అబ్బాయి అబ్బాయి ఉండరు.
చూడాలి మాట పడుతుంది. బట్ yeah, I mean, it was nice for a change to watch all these dramas, right? Like Netflix, I think there's too many crime dramas. ఇంకా కొన్ని ఎంత హార్డ్ హిట్టింగ్ గ్రిప్పింగ్ ఉంటాయంటే భయ్యా అసలే చాలా కష్టాల్లో ఉన్న లైఫ్ చాలా దరిద్రంగా ఉంది, ఈ టైంలో ఇన్ని ఎమోషన్స్ అవసరమా అనుకొని for a while I focused on Turkish drama. There's one Turkish drama called Black Money Love. I gave up after. సో వాళ్ళు ఏం చేశారంటే 2.5 hours ఎపిసోడ్ కి దే స్ప్లిట్ ఇట్ ఇంటూ 3 or 4 parts. ఓకే, సో 4 episodes 3 episodes కలిపి ఒక ఎపిసోడ్ ఇన్ ఒరిజినల్ వర్షన్. అదొక 160 episodes ఉన్నాయి అనమాట నెట్ఫ్లిక్స్ లో. నేను ఒక 80 చూసా దాంట్లో. అండ్ ఐ మీన్ ఆఫ్ ద స్టోరీ టెలింగ్ మ్యాన్, లైక్ ఇంతే కదా అయిపోయింది, ఇంకా కంక్లూజన్ వచ్చేసింది అనుకుంటే ఇంకేదో వస్తుంది అనమాట. అండ్ దిల్ కీప్ ఆన్ లైక్ టేకింగ్ ఇట్ ఇన్ టు డిఫరెంట్ డైరెక్షన్స్. ఒక పాయింట్ జరిగితే విసుగొచ్చేస్తుంది, బట్ దెన్ ఇట్స్ స్టిల్ నైస్ టు watch series from a very different culture, different kind of storytelling, that. So that happened sometime in summer of last year, but after that I'm not really watched anything now. So yeah, I mean, this year the plan is to write more about books primarily, and also movies from other languages. Series obviously it demands a lot more time from you, so
Time,
I'm not
correct.
sure, like let's see if something really interesting pops up, then I might do something.
Okay, nice. So, see, there is this thing about, at some hackers and network engineers who have to work 24 hours a day sometimes. They work only 4 days a week or 5 days a week, and the rest of the time they don't even touch. So many of the top network engineers and DevOps
Okay.
security engineers, they don't have computers at home because they want
Okay.
to be free
Right.
from all. They don't even have, they even have like regular phones. I mean, I've heard that from some of
Okay.
my friends. So atla, job is one thing and personal life is one thing.
Right.
In your case, your passion is also writing and your job is
Yeah.
also writing.
Right.
So are you really able to separate these two, or you think you live only in one universe? Now I have to work from 9 to 5. Only after that I get to do something else of my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is your life writing 24/7, or there are other things? I mean, obviously there are other things you do, but how do you demarcate that?
There is no demarcation for me, honestly, right? రోజంతా చదువుతూనే ఉంటాం, if I'm not writing, I'm reading. That's pretty much what I do all day. This reading could be anything, books kani or
Okay.
articles on the internet. I'm trying to read a lot about different aspects, um, from different areas of interest, right? What I did consciously in the last few months is not read so much about cinema. I won't read reviews. I don't want to read interviews except a select few. Like ఏదో చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ గా చెప్పారు, lot of people are talking about it, then I'll read about cinema. Right? But when it comes to reading, I avoid cinema completely, or as much as possible. I'm a huge history buff, so you'll find me reading a lot of non-fiction, uh, uh, or history period dramas, when it comes to books. Last few months lo I really wanted to diversify and not stick to cinema alone, right? So I started reading even more about other topics which I've never really touched. Climate change is something which I'm really fascinated and curious about. Right? I wanted to understand how are people writing about it, like what are the kind of questions that they're asking, and how are people putting things into perspective. మనకి ఏంటంటే ప్రాబ్లం చాలా ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉంది. ఎవ్రీ వెబ్సైట్ విల్ గివ్ యూ సమ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఆర్ ది అదర్, but you have to be able to tell it in a format that really pulls you into that world, right? I found that a lot in science writing. Last year was all about flipping through New York Times and the Atlantic, while how they were covering the pandemic, COVID, the uh, corona vaccine, and how each country or different regions are dealing with quarantines and all. This was so fascinating to read for me. I don't know if it's going to help me in some manner, but then I'm so interested in this wonderful work that people are doing, right? And sports writing is something which really fascinates me. Ante, I've not really read so much about tennis and other sports, wrestling and all that. Cricket, I do read about it. I mean, the way they describe some of the moments that happen on the pitch or outside that, I was like, మనకి మన మెచ్యూరిటీ లెవెల్స్ ఎప్పుడో రావాలి ఈ రేంజ్ లో రైటింగ్.
క్రికెట్ రైటింగ్ ఈజ్ ఎక్సెప్షనల్. రీసెంట్లీ మొన్న గాబా టెస్ట్ తర్వాత ఐ రెడ్ వన్ హెడ్లైన్ అండ్
ఇండియాస్ బటర్ఫ్లై ఎఫెక్ట్ అదేనా?
అది కాదు, there was another one which said that you may have another 90 years of test cricket at Gaba, but this will not repeat again ani.
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, right.
There's I had tweeted about it, tweeted that graphic. It had that headline. It's just goosebump stuff.
Right. So అదే అన్బిలీవబుల్ రైటింగ్, రైట్? సో ఇలాంటివన్నీ చూసినప్పుడు then you're even more interested to learn more about it, right? ఇప్పుడు
in fact as to test cricket, I would say that you should watch the match and read only print articles and not watch TV review of this test match. Not watch TV news at all. In fact, it is very good for health.
True. So I want to write like that at some moment in my life. If you ask me right now, is my skill set enough to produce such beautiful writing? I don't know. ఎక్కడో ఒక చోట ఒక మంచి లైన్ వచ్చేస్తుందేమో రైటింగ్ లో, బట్ దెన్ I have to be good enough to be able to do that consistently in almost every other thing that I do. That's the plan, right? So which is why I don't know, I think a lot of people who follow me on Twitter off late would have been very confused. అసలు వీడు ఏం ట్వీట్లు చేస్తున్నాడు, వీడు రాసేదేమో తెలుగు సినిమాల గురించి, బట్ ఒక్క ట్వీట్ ఉంటుంది మూవీస్ గురించి. ఈజ్ రీట్వీటింగ్ సమ్ పీపుల్ సమ్వేర్ వర్కింగ్ ఇన్ న్యూజిలాండ్, లేకపోతే ఉజ్బెకిస్తాన్, తైవాన్, అండ్ అసలు మన దానికి నేను చేసే వర్క్ సంబంధం ఉండదు అనమాట.
I have seen your retweets are very interesting.
Yeah, so last 1 year లో కూడా the kind of people that have been following has changed so much, right? ఇప్పుడు I have a lot of friends in the industry, who are actors or directors. When they put out something, a tweet or a poster, yes, I would retweet that. I'll amplify their voice. But then what excites me a lot more is the work which all these wonderful journalists are doing all over the world, right? And I've tried reaching out to some of them, and some of them have become some sort of acquaintances, right? We sort of exchange notes. I love what this journalist named Taylor Lawrence. She's a New York Times tech reporter. She reports a lot on internet culture, digital culture, like how are people using internet. She's written a lot about how young people have used TikTok and all that. So వాళ్ళది ఒక ఫ్రెటర్నిటీ ఉందన్నమాట. There's Rachel Greenspan. So a lot of them write for this website called the insider.com. Brilliant writing. Yeah. So I think their reporting about internet culture is amazing. So some of them, had the chance to interact with every now and then, and their work is also hugely inspiring, right? Like I want to learn from the kind of questions that they are asking to these people. that they're covering. And India lo kuda mana internet culture is very different from what happens in the West. So I want to learn from what they're doing and sort of narrate our stories. I think this is what we have also been doing through storytelling in our films, right? Like we're inspired from somewhere else, but then we want to make that relevant for us. So I'm trying for markers like that in different fields, right? Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, so I this is a question I always wanted to ask you, with or without this, recording.
Yeah.
Uh, you met a lot of celebrities, right? You have done a lot of celebrity interviews. Which one was
Right.
your best?
You want to name just one? That's a very hard one.
No.
Um,
Yeah,
I'll
there is
tell you
always
what.
one best, right?
See, I think the most popular one which I've done has been with Trivikram Srinivas,
Mhm.
purely because he has not given a solo one-on-one interview uh, in a very long time. I don't know if there are video interviews of that. Obviously, Telugulo mana Inadu or Sakshi, Andhra Jyoti, newspapers lo untai print articles, but on video format, I don't know if he has done that. So I'll be very happy always about that particular interview. But then there are a couple of few other interviews which I'm very very proud of for different reasons, right? One of them is an interview with Rajmouli. This happened just before Bahubali 2 had released. So I was,
Who
I
is
think,
Rajmouli? Okay, I'm kidding. Continue.
yeah, right.
Sorry.
So Rajmouli's interview, this was for first post. Bahubali 2 ముందు వచ్చింది ఇది. Uh, we were among the last few publications who published Rajmouli's interview, and I was very happy that we were able to ask him stuff which he had not spoken about in the past. Um, so one one of the things which really stands out for me in that interview is he uses a lot of these mythical elements. There are presence of gods and Shiva primarily
But
in all his
he
films.
himself is an atheist, right?
Yeah, so అతను ఆ ఇంటర్వ్యూలో he expanded more on that. No, he's an atheist. So I was like, I'm still not able to come to terms with that you're an atheist. So how did this thing start? And we did little conversation on that. He had not spoken in detail about it in other interviews, so I was very happy about that. There's one interview with RJV just before Killing Veerappan had released.
Yeah, I have seen that. That is very
Yeah,
good.
great
Yeah.
fun. I really like the conversation I had
I
with.
think you are the only person who has interviewed RGB
Yeah,
without getting thrashed.
and he
You are the only
laughed,
person.
man.
And
He laughed. He
that
trolled
woman
me.
from Sakshi TV, what's her name? I'm very poor with remembering names. But the Sakshi TV journalist who does RGB
Ramoism and all that, no?
Ramoism,
Yeah.
she does a good job, and the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
good
yeah.
thing I've seen is yours.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, he just trashes everyone in interviews.
He gets bored, yeah. I think that's the problem with him. He
Yeah,
gets
always
bored
out
very
of the
easily.
park.
Yeah.
ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఉన్నంత బాగా సినిమాలు ఉంటే ఇంకా చాలా బాగుండేది బట్ ఎనీవే.
Anyway, so two more interviews. One was with Junior NTR before Jai Love Kusha. I think that was my first video interview for Film Companion, and I really liked the conversation that we pulled off there.
ఓకే.
Uh, there are few more interviews with Nani, Samantha, more so because I've known
I
them for quite
remember
some
two
time.
or three interviews with Nitya Menon also, right?
Nitya, I've not. I've done print interviews, but I've not done
Okay,
any
print,
video
not
stuff with
video.
them.
Okay, print.
Yeah. Uh, so with Nitya and Nani, and also Samantha, because I've known them for so long, so the conversations are much nicer, and it's a very friendly vibe there. Another interview was with Mahesh Babu just before Bharat and Nenu had released. I had asked him, um, ఏదో అంటే అంతకుముందు ప్రెస్ మీట్ లో ఇంకటి నుంచి నేను ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్లు చేయను టైప్ లో ఏదో ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ ఇచ్చారనమాట. సో
Okay.
when I met him for an interview, I told him, I'm quite surprised that you've said this, like no experiment. Then he said, no, I didn't mean that I won't do experiments, but then uh, like there'll be a lot more thought behind why we take up films, ఏదో పాయింట్ నచ్చింది అని కాకుండా ఇంకా ఏదో చేయాలని. And then చాలా అంటే there is a perception, right? Because before that lot of his films లో చాలా subtle acting, subtle performances కి ఎక్కువ ఉంది. can we expect something different? And he said that no, danko answer ichanu. I think a lot of people were happy about it, because he was not asked that
Yeah,
question
we are
so
tired
much.
of subtle here now.
Yeah,
Enough subtle
so
now.
yeah.
It's like having a BMW, but you're only allowed to drive from Charminar to Puri Bazaar.
Yeah,
You're
so
only
for me
allowed
this
to
is
drive that stretch, which is full of traffic and obstacles.
so.
So that was a very good conversation with Hemant, but I have like a couple of more questions for him. So, as far as Telugu cinema reviewing goes, and there are recent allegations of corruption and a lot of bad things about reviewers. How do you keep your being in the same industry, doing the same kind of thing, same kind of work? I'm sorry, not thing. How do you keep your conscience clear? How do you what is that one factor that keeps you driving?
uh, I don't know how to answer this, yeah, because uh, even within the industry, right? Like uh, there are uh, ఎలా చెప్పాలి అది? Uh, I mean, there's no trade secret and all that, but then a lot depends on who you write for, the website or the media establishment that you write for. And so I've written for a lot of newspapers, and since 2017 I've not written for anybody who's based in Hyderabad. Like all these
Oh, okay.
organizations that I work for are based outside Hyderabad, right? Like uh, whether it's Bombay, which is First Post. I've written for News Minute, which is based in Bangalore. Majlo Silver Screen and inకొక website which is based in Chennai, and
Okay.
I've done stuff for film companies based in Chennai. So and reviews, it's always the fastest finger first, right? Like whoever gets the first review out, there's more traffic, so which means that you want to make sure that that early buzz is positive for your film. So there are more chances of people trying to approach you for that purpose. I've gotten away with it more so because I'm one of the last people to publish a review, right? ఇప్పుడు మార్నింగ్ 8:45 షో అంటే 11:30కి షో అయిపోతుంది. బై ద టైమ్ మై రివ్యూ కమ్స్ అవుట్ 3:30 అయిపోతుంది. అండ్ బై దెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ రెడ్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఎవ్రీ అదర్ రివ్యూ అవుట్ దర్, సేవ్ మేబీ వన్ ఆర్ టూ. This time factor is, I don't know if people really understand this, right? See, it's not, there is a method behind whatever you've heard of, and who gets that preference and all that. It's always the most influential, or whoever gets the maximum traffic to their
Hmm.
whatever publication or website, or they're given more prominence. Prominence. Uh, it's very wrong to think that everybody is corrupt, right? Like I think people should stop presuming that this is the norm.
No,
It's
no, it
not the
is not the
norm.
norm. It is not the
Yeah,
norm at all. Let me
it's
give you
not
an
the norm.
example. There is always this debate I've had with my friends about Rotten Tomatoes versus IMDb.com,
Hmm.
ratings. Now, Rotten Tomatoes works on they have a different score formula, which is based on reviews by actual designated reviewers. Okay, their combined score is then put in one formula, and then you get that 88% or 90% or 91% and all that. There are films which have bombed on Rotten Tomatoes but have 7.2 rating or 7.1 rating on IMDb. You know what the reason for this is? The reason is that these reviewers who write for Rotten Tomatoes are they belong to a particular thought process, a political ideology, or even left, right, or whatever is the. They're mostly left liberals and all that. There is a film called Mr. Church, starring Eddie Murphy. I think that film has got 15 or 18% rating or something like that, or maybe it has changed now, or 20%, whatever. It is I one of those rare occasions where I've not seen the review or rating and directly watched the film and I absolutely loved it. Then I just wanted to say who one of the cast members was, and I went to Rotten Tomatoes and saw that the score is piss poor. And in the same film on IMDb is around 7 something. So when you give power to a group of individuals, they are most likely to decide the fate of that film. This is a reality. But if the film is good, nobody can stop him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
IMDb it is always public voice. Whether, see, there are times when they took certain Indian mediocre films to 9.7 range, then there is also that danger. Okay, there is Godfather, Shawshank Redemption, and some XYZ.
Right.
So,
Another important thing is that we were talking about why it's dangerous to think that everybody is correct, right? Like, I think people should stop assuming that first of all, right? ఇప్పుడు ఒక సినిమాకి రేటింగ్ ఎక్కువ పడింది తక్కువ పడింది ఎంత తీసుకున్నావు సూట్ కేసు అందిందా లేదా దిస్ ఇస్ సమ్ ఆఫ్ ద మోస్ట్ కామన్ థింగ్ దట్ యు నో పీపుల్
హౌ డు యు డీల్ విత్ దట్? నీకు చాలా పడతాయి అబ్బా అసలు ట్విట్టర్ లో. అప్పుడు స్టార్టింగ్ లో అయితే ఐ హావ్ సీన్ యు
స్టార్టింగ్ లో పడేది, బట్ ఐ థింక్ పీపుల్ అండర్స్టూడ్ ఓవర్ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ టైం దట్ వీడు ఏం రాసినా ఎవడు చదవలేదు.
నేను అట్లా కాదు, ఏం రాసినా గానీ he will write neutrally and ఒక ఇంప్రెషన్ ఇది మాత్రం ఉంది, ఇది డెఫినెట్ ఉంది. I will tell you that there is a definite impression that C.R. Rahman, because see here I went to a meetup here. One of my friends had come from Massachusetts. అతను కలిస్తే then he started recently following me on Twitter and he said, అరే నీకు ఫిల్మ్ కంపెనీ అని హేమంత్ ఎట్లా తెలుసు అని చెప్పి అడిగాడు. నాకు ముందు నుంచే పరిచయం, 10 years బ్యాక్ నుంచి. నేను హైదరాబాద్ లో ఉన్నప్పటి నుంచే నాకు పరిచయం. అంటే ఓ అవునా, అతను కొంచెం సెలబ్రిటీ కదా అట్లా టైప్ లో. దే ఆర్ లైక్ ఫిల్మ్ కంపానియన్స్ ఆర్ హేమంత్ అంటే ఎవ్రీబడి నోస్ దట్ నేమ్. సో
ద సీన్ సౌండ్
యా, సో దట్ అండ్ సి ఐ హావ్ నెవర్, you may have written an average review or a bad below average review or sometimes even a bad review, but you've never written a wrong review. That I can assure you. I've read most of your stuff. Yeah. And I can tell you that you put your heart into your work. That much I can tell you.
I've always grappled with that fear, like am I doing something wrong, you know? I think that's what drives my conscience also. Ippudu cinema chala baundante no problem, like you know, universally it will get good reviews and all that. Cinema daridranga unte kuda no problem, you know, you can openly bash it and all that. అటు ఇటు కాకుండా ఓకే పర్లేదు సినిమా అంటే ఐ థింక్ దోస్ ఆర్ ద టఫెస్ట్ వన్స్ టు రైట్ అబౌట్, రైట్? బికాస్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి ఏబుల్ టు జస్టిఫై వై యూ ఫెల్ట్ సో అలూఫ్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఫిల్మ్, బట్ దెన్ యెట్ యూ వాంట్ గివ్ దట్ ఎ ఛాన్స్ ఫర్ సో అండ్ సో రీజన్. అక్కడ తేడా వస్తుంది అనమాట చాలా మందికి. ఇప్పుడు తెలుగు రివ్యూస్కి వచ్చేసరికి వీఆర్ వెరీ బిగ్ ఆన్ రేటింగ్స్, రైట్? లైక్ 2.75కి 3కి చాలా తేడా ఉంది మన దగ్గర. 3కి 3.25 కూడా చాలా తేడా ఉంది. మనకేంటంటే 0.25కి ఎందుకు ఇంత గోల్ చేస్తున్నారంటే దేర్ కంపారిజన్ ఈజ్ విత్ అదర్ ఫిల్మ్స్ విచ్ హావ్ బీన్ రేటెడ్ 3.25 or 3.5 or something like that. సో నువ్వు ఈ సినిమాకి ఇంత రేటింగ్ వేసావంటే ఏంటి ఈ సినిమా ఆ సినిమా కన్నా బాగుందా అనే క్వశ్చన్ వస్తుంది. సో వెన్ యూఆర్ రైటింగ్ ఇట్ ఆర్ వెన్ యూఆర్ రివ్యూయింగ్ ఆర్ వెన్ యూఆర్ రేటింగ్ ఇట్, యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి వెరీ కాన్షియస్ ఆఫ్ దాట్. Especially when you are within this ecosystem, right?
And when you give that rating lays foundation for fan wars on Twitter, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Maavadu 2.75 తో 50 crores కొట్టాడు, నీకు 3.25 వచ్చి కూడా 45 crores. ఎంతరా మీ పర్కు, మాతో ఎందుకురా మీకు అన్న టైప్ లో.
సో ఇప్పుడు మన వాళ్ళు ఏంటంటే ఓవర్ ద కోర్స్ ఆఫ్ లాస్ట్ 20 years, ever since digital reviews have become so popular, ఒక ఫార్మాట్ ఉందన్నమాట, రైట్? నువ్వు రివ్యూ మీద క్లిక్ చేయగానే ఫస్ట్ రేటింగ్ కనపడుతుంది, ఆర్ ఫర్ సమ్ రీజన్ ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ దే పుట్ రేటింగ్ సమ్వేర్ ఇన్ ద బాటమ్, ఆ బాటమ్ లైన్ అని ఒక పంచ్ లైన్ యాడ్ చేస్తారు కదా, ఒక 1 or 2 lines. ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ రీడ్ ద రివ్యూ, ఇఫ్ యూ జస్ట్ రీడ్ దోస్ 2 things, you know that whether you want to watch this film or not. అది సెక్ట్ అన్నమాట. I wanted to avoid that trap, okay? So I would say, I would beg people, forget about rating, because rating is not in my hands. There have been times where, not in newspapers, but some other places where I would tell people who are running those places, saying that I'll leave the rating to you. You decide, right? But I want the review to be mine. The words have to be mine. Um, పబ్లిక్ టాక్ బట్టి మీరు వేసుకోండి. అటు ఇటు ఉంటే ఐల్ ట్రై టు జస్టిఫై దట్, బట్ ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ రేట్ దిస్ ఫిల్మ్ అని. ఇది చాలా ఇనీషియల్ స్టేజెస్ లో లేదు, బికాస్ సో ఐడియలిస్టిక్ అండ్ ఐ వాంటెడ్ టు బి ఐ హావ్ టు ప్రొటెక్ట్ మై ఇంటిగ్రిటీ అనే టైప్ లో ఉండేది అనమాట. బట్ ఓవర్ ఎ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్ ఐ థింక్ యూ ఆల్సో గెట్ ఎ హ్యాంగ్ ఆఫ్ whatever you're doing, right? You understand patterns, you know that will people react to this film better than the previous film of the same director or actor, or is this better than that? Ivanni untayi man calculations. And also, by the time a review gets published, you will get that public pulse also. The janalu em maatladutunnaru. I think Twitter has made it very easy to follow that early buzz.
Yeah.
బట్ ఈ మధ్య మార్నింగ్ సినిమాకి వెళ్ళే ముందు ట్విట్టర్ ఓపెన్ చేయాలని చాలా భయం వేస్తుంది అనమాట. బికాస్ ఎవ్రీ ఫిల్మ్ కి అవుట్ స్టాండింగ్ పబ్లిక్ బస్ ఫ్రమ్ యుఎస్ ప్రీమియర్ షోస్ అని అంటే, అరే ప్రతి సినిమా నచ్చిందా ఈ యుఎస్ వాళ్ళకి, ఎన్ని చూస్తున్నారు అనుకుంటా. బట్ యా
See,
but yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Like even
people
before you
will come to a big film. Okay, if you leave
yeah, I
this
know,
pandemic aside, if there is a big film, myself, I have gone to last 10 or 12 big films, except I think I missed only one. I can't recall which one, but last 10 big films I have watched premiere. Okay, there is no escaping that, and everybody will watch. So that first day premiere number is always going to be high, and uh, there is no option, man. People will watch. Ante.
I know. See, I think this has done something really interesting, at least for me. I can talk for myself, right? Now there is no pressure on me to get something bang on, right? Like, where people will hold you um, responsible for whatever, ruining the chances or something. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
By the time the review is out, చాలా మంది చూస్తారు జనాలు, and everybody's talking about it on online. uh, so people have a certain idea of what to expect from the film. Like, they don't have to wait for the review to make up their mind. This has been such a big blessing in disguise. So now I can just focus on my writing. Whatever
Correct.
I felt about the film, I'll put it out in as uh, it's not as honestly as possible. Of course, I'm going to be very honest with my opinions, but the writing has to be different each time, right? Like, because I don't write reviews which are sort of template format. In template format, in the sense that we have a tendency of breaking down things like what is the story about, what is the story, performances, uh, bottom ఇలా ఒక బాక్స్ ఉంటుంది అనమాట. I wanted to not do that from the beginning, right? So writing lo mana whatever we have felt like it should come out, and that should be the more interesting part, rather than what is he saying about the film. Of course that's important, but how you write it is also equally important. And
Do you have a word limit guideline for these reviews or?
no, it's not that. But website ante on an average okay 800 words is the minimum padtadi.
Okay.
Cinema, if you feel very strongly about it, it goes to about 1200 maybe. But whatever said and done, still that deadline, no? Like, you can't exceed more than 2-3 hours after a film is done. 2-3 hours లో నాకు ఒక గంట సేపు అసలు ఓపెనింగ్ పారాగ్రాఫ్ ఏం రాలేదు దాని మీద కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ అన్న. ఇఫ్ ఐ డోంట్ క్రాక్ దట్ ఓపెనింగ్ పారాగ్రాఫ్, ఐ కాంట్ స్టార్ట్ మై రివ్యూ. అంటే తర్వాత చూసుకుందాం లేదా, అదైతే రాదన్నమాట. ఫస్ట్ 4 lines, if I know that I've got that hook right, రెస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద రివ్యూ హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ 40 minutes లో అయిపోతుంది. కానీ బట్ సో 2-3 hours రివ్యూ అంటే 1.5 hour is just about that opening paragraph. Like, how do I start explaining what I felt during the film, right? So ఒక 2-3 ఉన్నాయి అన్నమాట, which are like icebreakers. But then if you use a certain style too frequently, people will notice that pattern. నాకు ఒక ఫ్రెండ్ చెప్పాడు అనమాట, నేను రివ్యూలో చాలా సార్లు ఫిల్మ్ అని యూస్ చేస్తుంటా అనమాట. లాట్ ఆఫ్ టైమ్స్ హీ వుడ్ కౌంట్ అండ్ మెసేజ్ మీ, బ్రో ఈసారి నువ్వు ఆ ఫిల్మ్ అనే వర్డ్ 15 times వాడావు అని. And that's scary, right? Like, if you don't want to use certain words too many times in your in one piece. So the challenge is to avoid these cliches, and still write something interesting each time. uh, One thing is very clear: either the film has to entertain me, or I'll entertain myself through my review. Because
Okay.
I don't know who's gonna read this. I'm not writing this for a particular type of audience or particular type of readers. I'm just putting my word out there. If it connects with you, that's great. If not, I'm still happy because I think I've done the best that I could within the certain limitations that I have.
Yeah, see, writing is like any other art. Like there are hits and there are misses.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just like film. Some
yeah.
reviews are super hit. Some reviews, maybe people will not like it. It's okay. That's all right. It's all part of the game. And there are two things I wanted to tell you. I've always told people on Twitter, at meetups and all that. CR Hemant has one of the most difficult jobs because he has to watch the trashiest films on the first day. Sometime. Then the common question that would come up is అసలు వీడు సొంత డబ్బులు పెడతాడా వాళ్ళ కంపెనీ వాళ్ళు ఇస్తారా టికెట్లు అని. So what is the answer for that?
So I don't know how it works in other cities, but maybe it's the same pattern. In Hyderabad, if you're part of the media industry and you're a regular film critic, you will be invited to media press shows. So
Okay.
ఈ ప్రెస్ షో వేసారంటే వన్ ఆఫ్ టూ వెన్యూస్ లో ఉంటది. ఒకటి ఏంటంటే ప్రసాద్ ల్యాబ్స్, విచ్ ఇస్ అ స్మాల్ స్క్రీన్, ఒక 100 సీటర్ ఉంటది.
Yeah, where we
ఆర్
met once.
వేర్ వి మెట్, or in a cinema hall, like Prasad's or any other multiplex, or it could be
PVR or
any
whatever.
any cinema hall, right? Akkada ticket will be given to you. You don't have to pay for it. But if you miss the press show, then it's on you. Like you have to pay for your own ticket.
Okay.
There is no rule saying that నువ్వు ప్రెస్ షో వచ్చావు కాబట్టి నువ్వు మంచి రివ్యూ రాయాలి. ఆ రోజులు లేవు అన్నమాట. లైక్ nobody does
Okay,
that.
there is no. It's just
Yeah,
okay.
they just provide you an avenue where people from the press can come and watch the movie for free. That's it. ఒక్కోసారి ఏమవుతుందంటే చాలా పెద్ద సినిమాలకి ఇలా ప్రెస్ షో పెట్టినప్పుడు, బికాస్ ఎవ్రీబడి వాంట్స్ టు వాచ్ ద మూవీ యాజ్ సూన్ యాజ్ పాసిబుల్, రైట్? లైక్ చాలా మంది వాళ్ళ ఫ్యామిలీస్ ని తీసుకొచ్చేస్తారు అనమాట. దెర్ హ్యావ్ బీన్ ఇన్స్టెన్సెస్ వేర్ నేను ఒక 10 minutes లేట్ అయ్యని చెప్పి ఐ మిస్ ద షో బికాస్ టికెట్స్ లేవు, ఇంకా ఆల్రెడీ ఇచ్చేసారని. దాట్ హ్యాపెన్స్. What was the first question? Yes, I have watched a lot of trashy films, but what's the question, or what is the
There's no
doubt
question. I just wanted to tell you that people say, even I say that CR Hemant has a very difficult job because he has to watch the trashiest of films. దాంట్లో క్వశ్చన్ ఏం లేదు, జస్ట్ అన్ అబ్జర్వేషన్. అది యాక్చువల్లీ కాంప్లిమెంట్. యు ఆర్ మెంటలీ వెరీ స్ట్రాంగ్.
I don't have a problem with bad films, man. Like I know that things have gone wrong, so they couldn't do anything about it. You're not invested in the film, so it's okay. 2 hours, 2.5 hours ఉంటాము, ఇంకా వచ్చేస్తాము, and then we write about it. I have a major problem with films which could have been much better, but they don't crack that thing, right?
Okay.
అక్కడ కాలిపోతుంది అన్నమాట. లైక్ అరే ఎంత మంచి ఆపర్చునిటీ మిస్ అయ్యారు. As a film reviewer and as a Telugu cinema enthusiast, I really want and I hope that every film does well, right? Like I don't go into the theaters with the intention that okay, I'm going to watch a bad film today because I didn't like the trailer. There have been a lot of times where the films have turned out to be much better than the trailers. Like, that has happened. So the desire is to watch good cinema all the time, but the strike rate is low. So it's almost like a test match, right? Like session after session, ball after ball, film after film. You don't know what's gonna come at you. You just have to be prepared. ఇంకా ఆ మూమెంట్ కి ఏం కరెక్ట్ సెట్ అవుతుందో you just have to be in the game all the time. ఇప్పుడు ఈ సినిమా బాగాలేదు. ఇప్పుడు ఆఫ్ లేట్ వాట్ హస్ హ్యాపెండ్ ఇస్ బికాస్ ఐ రివ్యూ మోస్ట్లీ ఫర్ ఫస్ట్ పోస్ట్, దే వెరీ selective about what films review they'll publish, right?
Okay, you can't watch anything you want. Okay.
Yeah, there are pan-Indian websites, so they're getting reviews from Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, Bengali, so there is only so much content that they can put out there on a Friday. So because of that, I've not been watching every other film which comes out. Otherwise, almost every other film, at least I would have watched it. Okay, 120 films, straight films వచ్చాయంటే I would have watched at least 70 to 75 at least.
Okay.
But off late, చాలా తగ్గిపోయింది actually, because I'm not expected to write everything that I watch. Yeah.
All right. So that was a very interesting conversation. You have anything మీ ఫ్యాన్స్ కి ఏమైనా చెప్పాలనుకుంటే చెప్పండి హేమంత్ గారు.
I've always said this at a lot of Twitter conversations or even such sort of interactions which I've had with other people. We need more writers, we need more reviewers. I know that there are a lot of people out there who are very talented writers, but somehow they don't want to do film writing, film reviewing. I don't know what is it that stops them from pursuing this passion, even as a side gig, right? Like, even if you don't work full time, uh, I really hope that you at least start up something on your own, a blog, or a podcast, or anything that you want to do for fun. We need more literature about cinema to be published, and it's very important because that's what builds a community, right? Now, there's some lot of wonderful writing about Telugu cinema in Telugu. There have been a lot of books also published, a lot of journalists have worked on them, um, and some of the writing is remarkable, so that caters to a very a wider audience, and I would like to believe that I cater to a more urban English speaking audience. And for me, social media has been a big boon, right? Because I've been able to find that audience on social media uh, and on internet, right? But I really feel that we need more more of writers, more of reviewers who can express their opinions. Could be good, bad, whatever it is, but the talent pool as of now, it seems very small, and that's very tragic, man. For the kind of work that's being done in the recent past, it would be so much better if more people were writing about our cinema. ఇప్పుడు చాలా మంది from Bollywood and people who are based in Delhi, Bombay, they're writing about Telugu cinema, but we that's all I can hope for. Like, more people from our two Telugu speaking states or our Telugu diaspora from other countries. If we could contribute more about Telugu cinema in English or Telugu, that'd be great. It will help a lot of people in future, inspire more people to write more, I guess. Yeah.
All right, nice. So to put it in meme format, ఆయన ఏం చెప్పారో విన్నారుగా. All right, thank you, Hemant. Thank you very much for joining me on Screenversity Talks. It was wonderful talking to you, and I wish you all the best. And I've always been saying this since 2010, I think. You should interview Mani Ratnam sir once. All the best.
Thanks, Deepak. Thanks for having me on board, man.
Yeah. Okay. See you then.
See you.